Hi everyone. Alchemist is the scientist who try to prepare gold from the cheap metals. Is it possible? So we are using CT scan, PET scan for the diagnosis of various diseases. So what is the basic logic for this? So can we prepare the radioisotopes? To find out all this, today we are going to discuss about this radiopharmaceuticals. So in this topic we are going to cover what is basic isotopes and what is the characters of alpha, beta, gamma rays. Then we are going to study like how we can prepare the isotopes. Then how we can detect or measure the intensity of radioisotopes. Okay, so let's start with this radioisotopes. So this is the phenomena where the emission of alpha beta particles from the nucleus of a particular molecule. So when the molecular weight is above 89, so here I mean to say unstable nucleus, to get stability, so these the nucleic material is going to be emit alpha, beta and gamma rays. So what if it is emitted is going to be get stable? Yes. So how we will see. So if you see this, first we will discuss about the isotopes. Isotopes are the agents which has the same atomic number but different atomic mass. And isobars are the has same atomic mass but different atomic same atomic number and different same atomic mass and different atomic numbers. Okay, so here, so if you see this properties of alpha, beta and gamma, so alpha is a highly charged molecule, high ionizing power, but it cannot travel much faster. So it cannot penetrate, penetration power is going to be very less. So if you see this alpha, alpha is having atomic number 2 and atomic mass is 4. So if uranium 238 and 92 emits this alpha rays, so it is going to be converted into the thorium 239 and 90. So resulting of that, I mean to say uranium is going to be converted into the thorium. So here it is possible that we can convert one molecule to the another. So here by using this alpha, this radioactivity. Next beta. Beta, it has the higher penetration power. Compared to alpha, it has a less ionizing power. So here, so if you see this carbon, carbon isotope, so if it emits beta, so it is going to be increase its atomic number. So here the carbon is going to be converted to the nitrogen. So as alchemist dreamed, okay, one molecule can be converted to the other molecule, value added molecule. So he tried to convert iron into the gold. So somehow he is not able to succeed, but the isotopic activity gives some promise that it may be possible. Okay, so coming to gamma rays is doesn't have any charge and it is highly penetrating power. It has highly penetrating power, so it can be used as a diagnostics. Okay, so here the preparation of radioisotopes. So here we can prepare. Now naturally we will have these radioisotopes, but even we can prepare these radioisotopes. Then how? So how we'll use this linear accelerator and cyclotron and neutron bombardment. Okay, so normally what happens if say for example if you carbon has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. Okay, so if you want to make this isotope, so you have to add another proton to this. So already this is positive in charge and proton is positive. So there will be a repulsion is going to be take place between this. To overcome this, what we do is we'll increase the velocity of this proton so that it can overcome this repulsion power. So it can overcome this repulsion and this proton can be added to this particular thing. So for that we are using these 3 methods. One is linear accelerator, cyclotron and neutron bombardment. Okay, so coming to the linear acceleration. So here from the proton generator, So we'll add different voltages and will allow this, will be enhancing the velocity of the electrons, I mean protons. So here for diagram it may be very small, but actually if you see this, it is some several kilometers, 8 to 27 kilometers length it will be there with various polarizing. So because of the different polarities, so the velocity of the proton is going to be enhanced in such a way it can overcome this repulsion power. Okay, so that is called as linear accelerator. So if you add this proton to this nucleus, obviously it is going to be converted into the isotopes, which has the ability again. So since it already it is not stable molecule because extra proton is added. So now these again try to get the stability by eliminating either alpha, beta or gamma. So that is how we can prepare these isotopes. Or else we go for the cyclotron method. So cyclotron method, where the powerful electromagnet in which the this proton is going to be rotated circular motion. So here there will be alternative changing of this positive and negative in the presence of these strong electromagnetic condition. Okay, so resulting of that, the proton will be rotating in the space. So these are two hemispheres where the alternatively these are going to be positive and negative. So resulting of that, the electron this proton is going to be attracted towards this increased velocity. Then again the polarity is going to be changed. So resulting of that, there will be a circular movement. So where the velocity is going to be continuously enhanced. So again we will focus to that particular nucleus where we want these isotopes. So resulting of that, we can prepare these isotopes. Okay. Apart from this, we can use either we can apart from the proton, if you use neutron doesn't have any charge. So we can easily pump this neutron into the nucleus. So we can use this neutron to prepare these isotopes. Okay, the problem with this neutron bombardment is, say for example, if neutron is bombarded with uranium, so here is going to be converted into the barium 56-139 and krypton 36-95. So apart from this, is going to be eliminate nascent neutrons. So these neutrons again has the capability to bombard some other uranium. So there will be a chain of event is going to be take place. That very difficult to control, and it will emit some 200 mega electronic volts power. So to control this power and this chain reaction is very complicated than compared to these two. So that is why we are not prefer this neutron bombardment. Okay, so this is how we can prepare these isotopes. Next we will say like how we can detect and measure the ionization, radioactivity. Okay, so here normally we will use by 5 methods. One is ionization chamber method, proportional chamber method, Geiger-Müller counter, scintillation counter and auto radiography. So here these are the very simple equipments. So where it is a halo tube in which, so this is the anode and this is charged with the cathode, and is going to be a voltage difference is maintained around 50 to 100 volts. So if any radiation comes, radiation in the sense it may be alpha, gamma or beta, so it will normally, the hydrogen gas is going to be filled in this particular chamber. So resulting of that, there will be ionization of the hydrogen is going to be take place. Then the H plus is going to be H plus and electron minus. So normally, so electron is going to be traveled towards this anode and H plus is going to be travel towards the cathodes. Resulting of that, the flow of electron is going to be take place. Thereby, we can see the power generated. So depending on that, depending on the intensity, we can find out. So here the power. Okay. So electron flow it can be seen. So this is called as ionization chamber based on the ionization power. So if higher rays come, so higher ionization is going to be take place and higher power generation can be seen. So coming to this proportional counter. Proportional counter is the setup is same like as ionization chamber. Only thing is here it is made up of silver and the anode is going to be made up of tungsten. Okay, and here the gas is going to be filled with argon and methanol, a trace of the methanol. So here the logic is when the radiation triggers this, so here there will be formation of secondary electrons. These secondary electrons again collide with some other molecules of the gas. So that causes the secondary electrons, tertiary electrons. Likewise, there will be a chain of events is going to be enhanced. So resulting of that, so even a small radiation can be easily detected by using this proportional counter. So here if you see this, the voltage difference is 200 to 500 volts. Then coming to this Geiger-Müller counter, so here the difference is he will use the higher voltage difference 1300 volts. So resulting of that, so there will be a significant generation of the secondary electrons. So that causes the significant power. So we can thereby we can get the specific detection of a single even radiation. Coming to the scintillation counter, scintillation is the substances which will absorb this alpha and gamma and emits these photons. These photons are going to be emitted is there in the photomultiplier tube. This is the photomultiplier tube where the light is going to be multiplied. Say for example, if it two rays there, so there will be different potential differences are going to be maintained. So here, so because of the potential difference, they are going to be multiplied 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64. So here the intensity of the light is going to be enhanced. So depending on the intensity of the light, so we can find out what is the radiation present. So this is how we are going to detect. Next, autoradiography. Say for example, any substance or any tissue is exposed with radiation substances. What we do is we will take a small biopsy of this particular tissue and we will expose to the photographic plate. So if the photographic plate is converted to the black, then we can say the intensity of the radioactivity. Okay. So this is the brief introduction of this radioactivity. So hope this video is useful. Thank you.